Did you know a chief in pre colonial South Africa could have up to 100 wives? If you've ever wondered what it was like to be one of those women, stick around because marrying a chief might have been one of the worst things that could happen to you. When you think of marrying a chief, you might picture wealth, status, and protection, but the reality was far from glamorous. Chiefs married women from different clans to secure alliances, but for the women, it meant pressure, hierarchy, and very little freedom. And if you think being the first wife saved you from all the drama, think again. Your life depended on your rank, and that rank had nothing to do with how the chief felt about you. The great wife ranked the highest. She usually came from a very wealthy and important family. This gave her power, but also made her a target. When she gave birth to a son, he was often considered the rightful heir. On the flip side, she and her son were in constant danger from jealous wives and advisors who might plot against them. Peace was rare in her position. Lower ranking wives weren't safe either. They did most of the work and had very little say in household or political matters. They may have had food and shelter, but real influence was out of reach. Each wife had her own hut inside the chief's compound. The great wife's hut was closest to the chief, while others lived further out. Life was full of quiet competition. You had to earn the chief's attention to get more cattle, servants, or privileges, but his focus could shift in an instant. You also didn't have any privacy. The compound was always full of attendants, visitors, and advisors. People watched everything you did. Who you spoke to, what you said, and even small gestures could be used against you. A simple rumor could damage your reputation and spark conflict with the other wives. Being a chief's wife also came with major spiritual responsibilities. You took part in rituals to honor the ancestors, bring rain, and protect the community. This could mean cleansing ceremonies, sacrifices, or helping prepare beer for offerings. The community believed its health and success depended on a balance between the living and the dead, and you were part of keeping that balance. Let's say you did everything right and were the perfect wife. One witchcraft accusation could ruin your life. You could be accused of witchcraft for being too proud, outspoken, or simply unlucky. In some communities, wives accused of witchcraft were isolated, beaten, or even killed. Being married to a chief gave you no protection from this. If you thought you'd be free after the chief died, think again. In many cases, you could be inherited by one of his brothers. This was done to keep alliances strong and property within the clan. Even after the chief was gone, your life was still tied to his family. Being married to a chief meant a lifetime of duties, obligation, and very little control over your own future. So, yes, being a chief's wife came with beads, cattle, and status. But behind that was a life of hierarchy, rivals, rules, and constant scrutiny. For many women, it wasn't a fairy tale, it was survival in the middle of politics, power, and tradition.